Hi everybody, here's a very quick video I think to show you how to take through Design Space a new file to cut this really cute six-sided gift box for a standard 11-ounce mug. This cuts on the standard mat. I think there is a little bit of space to make it bigger if you need to, if you're using a 16-ounce mug or even bigger, but it's perfectly sized to take the standard white 11-ounce one you can see here that so many people use. This little box actually came about because somebody asked me if the cupcake box would work for a mug, and it wouldn't in the way it was because you couldn't make it any bigger as it cuts in one piece. So I've changed this one and it cuts in three or four basic pieces on the standard mat, and so now you can make it big enough to fit the mug. I really love how it's turned out actually. I'm glad, very glad I was given that idea. So there you see a picture of the open box with the insert inside. The insert keeps the mug nicely in place, and you can place that insert anywhere around you like, depending on how you want to display your mug. There's a view from the top. On this version I've made here, I used the decorative overlay panels that you get included in the file. You don't have to use those. You could make a completely plain box. And you could even do print and cut with it, I think, if you used long mat and larger card. But I've just made it with these pretty panels here. There's the mug inside the box. As you can see here, you also get a piece to cut an acetate or PVC window. I tend to use PVC sheets. You don't have to put that in. It just protects your mug a little bit more if you do, and it does make your box a little bit stronger too. I made a gold one there with some plain gold card and then some glitter overlay. I think that's kind of all I need to tell you about it really. The file does come, as well as SVG, you get it in Studio 3 format for people who use the free version of Silhouette Studio. If you've got a Silhouette Cameo or something and you just use that basic version. And I also do a Canvas Workspace file, but you do need the downloaded version of Canvas Workspace to use it. I think it's a good idea to get it if you can, if you work on a machine that allows you to download it, because taking SVGs into Canvas Workspace can be a bit tricky, especially ones like mine where everything for the project is in one file. So if you can use the Canvas Workspace file that I supply, everything is the right size or the right color, and the score lines, which are solid in Design Space, have already been converted to tiny cuts in Canvas Workspace. So if you can get that, it's a lot easier if you use a ScanNCut machine to use the Canvas Workspace file that I supply. But this video is about how to take it through Design Space, so let's go and do that now. So I'm going to bring it in from scratch even though it's already in my library. So upload image. I always have it on full window. I'm on the desktop version for PC and I always have it full screen, so I click browse. I don't drag files around. I'm already on the folder because I've been bringing it in today. So hexagonal mug box is the file. Click open. You get this screen first. Just continue. Here you could give it another name over here on the left hand side if you wanted to, and then just press upload. Obviously there's nothing else to do. It's a cut file. The update of Design Space that we've just had means that when you bring any SVG now into Design Space, you get this really helpful box where it shows you all the things you could make that are even vaguely similar, which makes me a bit cross, but there we are. So just close that to get rid of it. Zoom out a little bit so you can see the full thing on your screen. It lands already selected, so the first step is we just need to ungroup it. Ungroup for me is at the top of the layers panel over here on the right hand side, and it's that first of those three icons at the top. So I'm just going to click that once. That lets me see the two groups inside now, and the top one in all my SVGs is always where the lines that need converting to score live. So you're just going to select that top group, go to your operations menu, click on where it says basic cut because that's what they'll do at the moment, and then choose score from the drop down, and you can see that they've been converted now. And because there's more than one set, we've got to ungroup them. Then select that group underneath, which is where all the coloured cut pieces are, and all we need to do here is ungroup. So now everything on canvas is a separate piece and we can attach the scores to individual pieces. Got to do it individually, otherwise you'll get a message that the project is incompatible with your machine because it will be too big. So simplest way to do that, click on canvas somewhere near a piece, drag a box to enclose it, more or less, and attach. My scores are compound paths, so you just need to touch anywhere and it will work. So there are just those 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 pieces that have got scores. You get, as always, a PDF of very detailed assembly instructions. I can quickly show you it here because I've got the file open. And on the front page of that PDF, you get a diagram of the SVG with a little note telling you what every piece is. So as you go through the instructions, you can see, you know which piece I'm talking about. I think it's pretty obvious from the photographs anyway, but if you were confused at all, you could just refer back to that diagram. There's also a link there to this video. That's the wrong link at the moment because I haven't made it yet, obviously, but there will be a link there to this video, and quite importantly, you get that little piece of information there which shows you how big the file should be when it lands in Design Space. Just very occasionally with updates, we get a glitch where SVGs don't come in at the right size. So before you ever start making any file, it's always a good idea to check that it has come in at the right size and it's going to cut how you want it to. Okay, so we're ready to hit make it now. So I'll just hit make as it is now, not make it anymore. I don't need to save it. What have I missed there? Did I not attach those? That one? Oh, sorry, I missed one. Should have attached that one. In fact, I'm just going to detach that to show you why that happened. So I hadn't attached that little overlay and it scores, and we hit make it, and that strange map there where you're thinking, what on earth is that? That's because the scores for that one piece came through on their own, which is what would happen if you didn't attach the scores. So I will just attach that now. Sometimes it's a good idea to make a mistake. I can pretend I did it deliberately, but sometimes it's a good idea to show it because, you know, someone might do the same thing and then you don't panic. You just think, oh yeah, I remember now why that is. Right, so yes, we really can hit make now. And as I said, this cuts on the standard mat from 12 by 12. So you've got scope, as you can see, to make it bigger even on the standard mat if you needed to. Both pieces would be able to enlarge, and if you needed to go bigger still, then you could go quite a lot bigger if you chose a bigger card. But just for now, we don't need to do that. It's going to fit an 11-ounce mug, and we can see that. I don't think, actually, if we just zoom out, if I put that there, that little lone piece on its own, I'm going to click move, and I'm going to click this other mat. Yeah, and it will definitely fit there. So you can cut the whole of the inner box from 3 sheets of 12 by 12. What we've got there is we've got the front and the sides, the back and the sides, and then that's the inner insert, and you get 2 bases. Something I like to do with a lot of the boxes I make now is where you can make two bases, because it's a really nice way to assemble it. You put your inner one in first and that makes the shape of the box, and then you flip it over and apply an outer one and it makes it super strong. So I quite often tend to supply 2 bases with my boxes. These are the decorative overlays, and we can't get those on one sheet of 12 by 12, but when I cut mine, as it happens, mine were all A4 anyway, so they will all cut from A4 or letter. So if we chose A4, we'd still be looking at 2.5, yeah, sorry, 1.5 sheets of A4. If we chose letter, again, 1.5. So whatever you want to cut your decorative overlays from, if you use them, they are optional. You don't have to use them. You can use pretty much any size card you've got. And this is the little piece of that you're going to cut from acetate or PVC. These days I tend to use PVC sheets. You can buy these binder sheets from Amazon. They're very cheap. I put a link to them in the PDF of instructions that comes with your download. I actually prefer them to acetate now because they're cheaper and there's absolutely no chance of them snapping when you fold them, which with some acetate can happen. Also, PVC is recyclable, whereas acetate, it will biodegrade, but it takes a while. So yeah, I quite like PVC now. Okay, I think that's all I need to show you. If you have any questions when you come to cut or assemble it, please don't hesitate to get in touch. The links to do that are in the description underneath this video. And if you've just stumbled across the video and you'd like to buy the SVG, there's a link to do that there too. Don't forget, if you're purchasing 3 or more SVG files at one time from the Tanglecraft Studio Etsy shop, the link is in the description, you can use the 30 for 3 discount code to get 30% off your total purchase. This offer runs all the time, but you need to use that code when you check out. And if you haven't already joined the Tanglecraft Studio Facebook group, join now to get any special Etsy discount codes issued to group members and to take advantage of the free SVG files I give away in the group from time to time. The link to the group is in the description. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.